Bembridge Windmill is an iconic Isle of Wight landmark and the last surviving windmill here on the Isle of Wight. Built about 300 years ago from local stone, it's a fascinating place to visit. This building is steeped in history. It was built in the early 1700s, and back then, things were very different. Bembridge was almost an island in its own right, with the sea coming up to the foot of the hill on which the windmill stands. For 200 years, the mill ground flour and provided work for generations of millers and their families. There was even one lady miller, Frances Tull, which was really unusual for the time. Back then, when they were ready to mill, they would have sent young lads called nippers up to attach the sailcloth, and then the mill was ready to work. By the 1890s, Bembridge Harbour was drained, reclaimed as farmland, and the new railway was able to import the fine bread flour that was favoured by then. The mill was then only grinding corn for cattle feed until 1913. During both wars, it was used as a shelter and a lookout, and it never milled again. One of the highlights for visitors is the opportunity to go inside the windmill and see all the original machinery across the 4 floors. Here we are on the 4th floor, where you find the main gear mechanism to power the windmill. When the sails turn outside, it turns the windshaft and the great brake wheel. This in turn will turn the wallower, and this will send power down through the windmill to revolve the stones on the floor below. Being a miller was hard and hazardous. Hard because they worked long hours, often through the night, and hazardous because flour is extremely combustible, and that's why so many windmills were lost to fire and so few remain today. During its working life, this windmill would have been constantly repaired and maintained, and that's still the case today. Teams of millwrights come to make sure everything's running smoothly. 4 times a year, we actually get to see the windmill turning. Lots of local people and visitors arrive to watch. They take their seats as if they're watching a show, and they love it. Experiencing the windmill rotating is really exciting for them, and for us too. To know that people love this windmill as much as we do. It's highly likely that millers would have grown their own fruit and vegetables in their land around the windmill and kept their own animals. Today, our own Hebridean sheep graze the meadow among the ancient oaks, and soon we'll be planting a new orchard with local apple varieties donated by the National Trust Association. The view across Brading Marshes has changed since the 18th century, but still provides a beautiful outlook from the windmill, across the RSPB Nature Reserve, over to Brading Village, and up onto Bembridge Down, on top of which sits the Victorian fort. We're now at the top of Bembridge Fort, overlooking Bembridge Down, beautiful views to the south of Yaverland and to the north at Bembridge. Built in the 1860s due to the threat of French invasion, Lord Palmerston instructed the building of forts and batteries all along the south coast. On the Isle of Wight, their primary function was to protect the naval port of Portsmouth. Today, it's a wonderful place to walk and enjoy those views. This is the opposite end of the Chalk Ridge, which crosses the whole island, from the Needles to here at Culver Cliffs. Like the Needles Headland, these cliffs are home to nesting peregrine and raven and form a really dramatic headland jutting out into the sparkling sea. These downs are one of our priority areas to try to restore to their former glory. Many of the agricultural advances post-Second World War have caused the loss of wildlife that thrived on the downs and cliff tops. In recent years, we've been reversing that decline by scrub removal and extensive grazing to control the course of vegetation and allow the delicate flowers, butterflies and other insects to increase.